Do you ever get the sense that our worldly leaders are failing us? You look at, what's going on in the world, you look at what's going on in politics, and they just keep kicking the football back and forth, and nothing really seems to change. Nothing really seems to get done. Everything seems to be bogged down. Big part of the reason is because you can't solve spiritual problems with worldly solutions. And most of the problems we're starting to deal with in our culture, they aren't actually worldly problems. They tie back to the spirit of humanity. They tie back not only to the collective spirit of humanity, but they tie back to the spiritual nature of each individual human person. And you can't solve spiritual problems with worldly solutions. Same thing happens in our churches. How often our spiritual leaders, of all types, every type of leadership within the church manifests in lots of different ways. When our leaders take their eyes off Jesus, we all begin to sink. When a Christian community becomes more interested in worldly problems and worldly issues and blocks out the spirituality that animates our response to worldly problems, we tend to become disoriented. We tend to lose our ways. And so it's easy to talk about these things out there, but it's always important for us to bring it back in here and ask ourselves, okay, what are the problems of our lives? What problems are you dealing with? What problems am I dealing with? Are they worldly problems or are they spiritual problems? And if we're trying to solve spiritual problems with worldly solutions, we're always going to fail. And so again, we find ourselves in that place. Are we willing to turn to God? Are we willing to surrender to God? Are we willing to make ourselves available to God? Are we willing to collaborate with God? Are we willing to call on God's grace and enter into the great collaboration between God and humanity, between God and you?